Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Brown, and this is Doula Loves Creation. And today I'm going to be interviewing Ashley, Mama Ashley, and she's going to share her birth story. Give me a moment because I have to work through all of this and let Ashley in. Ashley on now. I'm waiting for her to come on for a moment. Oh, we did it. I'm always amazed when I do this. Good morning, Ashley. Hi. Let me hear your volume again, Ash.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear a little bit of an echo. I didn't hear that. Because you're what?
Is it better?
Yeah, so you're gonna need to talk up because
Okay.
yeah, you gotta talk up. All right. So if anyone is not hearing us clearly, just let us know. Hello. I'm seeing some people have joined on. So and Ashley has cut her hair since the last time. That was
way shorter this time.
It looks really cute. Looks really cute.
Thank you.
All right. So the purpose of this, let me just say why I'm doing these videos. Ashley is just like every other pregnant mom. And she made a conscious decision on the birth that she chose to experience for herself. And sometimes birth can go different ways. And birth can flow in whatever way. So my job as an educator and as a doula is to make sure and to support women so that they have a clear birth intention, that they experience an empowered childbirth education course. I happen to teach hypnobabies. And I want women and families to feel that they have their own voice, whether they're birthing at home, at a birth center, or hospital. My goal in these videos that I'm doing is to show moms that, oh, I don't want the hospitals to tell me what to do. I don't want this person to tell me what to do. I want my doula to speak for me. No, an empowered birth means you have your own voice, even in the midst of your birth. So this is why I'm doing these videos, and I'm going to try to do them maybe a couple of times a month or maybe once a week. We'll see. That might be pushing it. All right, Ashley, let's open it up to you. And why don't you tell us when you birthed, what kind of birth you chose? Did you birth at a hospital, home, or birth center? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I was drawn to a home birth. I wanted to have a home birth experience. It's just something that I was just naturally drawn to. I didn't have anything against birthing in a hospital at all, but it's just something that I felt naturally drawn to. And so I actually, when I started my doctor's visits, I actually saw a midwife most of my pregnancy through Kaiser. And I asked her about a home birth. And she was really excited about it. And she actually referred me to a midwife that she went to school with, because midwives don't do births at Kaiser hospitals. So a midwife she went to school with does home births. She referred me to her, but the distance was an issue.
Let me interrupt for 1 sec. You said midwives don't do births at Kaiser Hospital. They don't do home births. The midwives at Kaiser Hospital don't do home births. Is that what you wanted to say?
Right. That's what I meant to say.
I want to clarify.
Yeah. Just to clarify that. And so, who she referred me to, Nina, who services the Orange County area, referred me to another midwife that was closer to me in Long Beach, Angie. And when I met Angie, we had an instant connection. I felt she came to my home, she assessed me, she talked to me about, why I wanted to do a home birth. And I decided to move forward with the process. And so I felt supported by my midwife at Kaiser and the midwife that I hired to birth at home. And during my second visit with my midwife, Angie, she's like, you should think about getting a doula. And at first I was like, I don't need a doula. I think I'll be okay. My husband can help me. And she mentioned you. You were the first person that she mentioned. And I looked on your site and I saw that you did something called, you were a Hypnobabies instructor. You focused on going inward and helping women and empowering them in their birth. So I went on your site and it just completely aligned with just me as a person spiritually and just what I believed. And so I said, I have to call her. I told my husband, I was like, we have to hire her. We have to have Miss Angela. So I call you and we decided to do the course, but you were already booked at the doula. So I gave her a hard time throughout my whole pregnancy for this because I really wanted you to be my doula. And
so I'm going to interrupt for 1 sec. So yes, she did contact me and I was full. That time. And I said, but you can do pregnancy life coaching sessions and take the Hypnobabies classes. Mm-hmm. So she did agree to do that. And the interesting thing is when Ashley gave birth, that was the week that I had 3 births in 6 days. And Ashley and another client were in their birthing time at the same time. See, I knew I was not supposed to take, I wanted to, but I knew I was not going to be able to do that. So this is also about touching one's intuition.
Yep.
Trusting your own intuition. And I knew it's like, no, this is going to be too much. And I sensed that. So I want to go to, so you chose a home birth, really great. And then you took the pregnancy life coaching sessions with me.
Yeah.
So please tell me, answer this question for me. How long was your birthing time?
My birthing time was 34 hours.
Okay, 34 hours. All right. So then answer this question for me. What tools did you use to navigate through? Like what specifically, and tell me what worked for you.
So first off, I took the Hypnobabies course with you. And number one, just being empowered and having a lot of information about the whole process really helped me. First off, we went over role plays or scenarios of, okay, well, what do you do when your water breaks? Or what do you do when your mucus plug or you have bloody show? Like, what are you going to do? What's step 1? What's step 2? What's step 3? And so what helped me and how I knew it was time was this was the day before the holiday, November 24th. I woke up feeling a little bit, I woke up feeling uncomfortable. Didn't realize I was in my birthing time because, you're just a little bit uncomfortable in that last month. So I woke up feeling uncomfortable. It was around 6 a.m. Decided to use the bathroom. I look at the toilet. It's like blood and kind of like mucus. White mucus. I'm like, oh.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you ever Google what mucus plug bloody show looks like?
Well, you told me to, but we discussed in depth. We discussed in depth what it could look like, what the texture would be, what would happen. So as soon as I looked at the toilet, I knew. I'm like, oh, okay. So John took my temperature, and I called my midwife. And she's like, okay, do you feel any cramping or anything? And then I paused for a second. I'm like, yeah, I am feeling.
Well, actually, let me ask you a question. Was that your mucus plug or was that your water breaking? Let's be clear for the audience.
That was my mucus plug.
Okay. All right. Great. Continue on. I just wanted to be clear.
And so, because when your water breaks, you have to check your temperature and check to see if the baby's kicking. So we went over the things that could happen based on how my body decides to go into its birthing time. So, I told her I was feeling cramping, and she's like, yeah, so you're having waves. And I said to myself, okay, it's happening. It's happening.
We can't hear you. I don't know what you just said.
I said, it's happening. It's happening. So I said to myself, okay, it's happening. So she told me to keep her updated drink water, eat, get some rest, and just keep her updated as everything progresses. So number one, that actually really helped me when we went over the scenarios about what could happen. Number two, as my birthing time continued, we went over the hypnosis tracks and everything. So me listening to the Hypnobabies hypnosis tracks, relaxing myself, going into hypnosis also helped me throughout the process as my birth waves progressed, because I was in my birthing time for 30.
What time was this? What time was this that you saw the show?
This was after a little after 6 o'clock.
AM?
6 a.m. 6 a.m.
So let me ask you a question, because I want to, so we can streamline and stay in the point of where we want to go. When at that point did you start to feel them get stronger? Like what time? And then what did you do as your birthing wave started to increase?
So they started to increase later that evening. So I want to say like around 5, 6 p.m.
Okay, so about 11, 12 hours.
Yeah, so they started to pick up a little bit more. And so that's when I had to sit on my birth ball and go deeper and deeper into hypnosis. And then my doula ended up coming, and she took a look at me and assessed me, because I was still very mobile. But she could tell. She's like, okay, it's not really time yet. And I felt it too. It wasn't really close to that time yet. And so I'm on my birth ball, and my husband comes downstairs and he's like, the bathroom broke. This is the day before the holiday, around 6 o'clock. The bathroom broke. And I'm like, what do you mean the bathroom is broken? I need the tub. I need to be able to take a shower, because it just helps me relax. It's one of my favorite places in my home is the bathroom. I'm like, okay, we have to fix it. So he calls the maintenance guy. I'm on my birth ball, t-shirt, panties, with a shirt with a cover wrapped around me. And I'm like in hypnosis, and the maintenance guy comes. He's like, hi. And my husband's like, don't mind her, she's in labor. So he goes upstairs, and then he leaves. So I'm thinking the bathroom is fixed. And so I asked my husband, is the bathroom fixed? He said, no, it's not fixed yet. And I look at him, and then everything just stops. So my birthing time just stalled. So I told my doula, told my midwife, and they said, okay, the baby knows what's going on. The bathroom needs to be fixed. So the plumber came that evening, fixed the pipe in the tub. Everything was good. My birth waves picked back up.
So let me just say this. I want to speak to what you just said. So yes, babies have an intelligence, but what happened was, like, women want to feel safe. They want to feel supported in their birthplace, no matter where they are. So because water was such an important element for you to experience, when your husband told you that it's not fixed, that just did not sit well. So energetically, you're like, whatever you said to yourself, I don't like this. This is not what I want. Whatever your dialogue was, the brain was like, okay, we're shutting it all down.
I knew I needed the bathroom, and it's going to come into play later as I.
And I just want to make a point there is that, yes, the baby does. I don't believe that the baby shuts it down. But what happens is, remember, the body follows the mind. So there was a thinking process like, wait, no, I know I'm going to need water for this. So let's just keep going. I just want to make that point so the audience understands that, yes, there's an intelligence within our children. But, you are having a power birth. Yes. Okay, continue on, mommy. So let me see if I can focus you a little bit more here. Let's see. You talked about that. All right. So your birthing time is continuing. The plumbing got fixed. About what time? Because we know the plumbing went out. Was around 6 p.m.
It's around close to 8 p.m.
Okay, 8 p.m. So then when did your birthing time start back up?
I want to say maybe closer to 9. They got a little bit stronger.
Okay. All right.
And so I slept it up in and out throughout the night, slept, and then my doula came around 5:30ish, November 25th in the morning, 5:30 a.m.
And your birthing time started like 6 a.m. the 24th.
Correct.
Okay. So your doula came about 5:30 on the 25th. Your birthing waves are coming stronger. And so you're, I'm listening.
Yep. And so we're moving throughout the house. At this point, I feel everything in my lower back. They're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I'm walking up and down a flight of stairs, back and forth in the bathroom, and it was, I want to say, around noon. I was tired. It was so much. After I had finished my circuit of going up and down a flight of stairs, she looked at me and she said, "Do you want to do it again?" And I turned my head and I was like, "Nope." Nope, I'm not going.
She asked you if you wanted
If I
to.
wanted to go do a circuit of the side, a curb walking up and down stairs. And I said, no, don't want to do it anymore. This is just, I'm not having it right now. I just want to go to my birth ball.
Okay.
And
all right. So let me clarify for the audience. So one of the techniques that I have women do is side stair walking. So we call it curb walking, but if you don't want to go outside, you can go up your stairs sideways. And what that does is bring the baby down. Because basically what's happening is this motion. As say if you're normally you go up the stairs like this, but she's going up the stairs like this. So when she's doing that, the hips are doing like this. So it's bringing baby down. I want you to understand these are techniques that we use to help moms, help the baby come down deeper into the pelvis. So you were doing those and you decided, okay, I'm done. No more side stair walking, none of that.
No, I didn't want to. I got tired. I got fed up. I told my husband, I'm like, I don't know. I feel a lot of hypnosis and I'm just like, I don't know if I could do this. And my doula came because she was contacting my midwife and she said, so we can let you rest for 4 hours and we can come back. I can come back and we can pick this up. And I looked at her again and I said, no, you're not going anywhere. So I sat on my birth ball. And this is where our pregnancy life coaching sessions came through, because in our sessions we did a prayer. I basically wrote a prayer of the things that I was going to actually do during my birthing time and the mental state that I'm going to be in during my birthing time and what I was going to rely on intuitively. And so I was on my birth ball at the edge of my bed and I laid down and I closed my eyes. And when Angela has you write your birth intention, your prayer, you record it and listen to it along with your hypnosis tracks. I memorized mine by heart. So I closed my eyes and I said my prayer.
All right, so let me pause you there for a minute. So the birth intention that I have clients write, every client writes one. And it's a vision for the birth that you're choosing to experience. It's written in the first person as though the birth is happening now. I have people write this 5 months ahead of time. And they're constantly reprogramming their mind with this birth intention. So that's what Ashley is talking about. It's just a technique that I've used specifically as the Spirit of God gave to me years ago on how to support women in experiencing natural births. Now, let me say, not every woman experiences a natural birth, but every one of my clients writes a birth intention. So I can get into that more, but I want it to be a little bit clear. So you memorized your birth intention, wow, first, and then you started speaking that birth intention to yourself. Yeah. Continue on, please. I'm interested.
So, I closed my eyes, I prayed, and I went up into, not hypnosis, but I went up into this meditative state. And in my prayer, I talked about how I would welcome each of my birth waves, how I would smile during my birth waves, and how I would move fluidly through my birth waves. And so instead of curb walking, I decided to move fluidly. I had my eyes closed. I breathed. I used my breath every time a birth wave came. So every time I experienced a birth wave, I let everything around me go. I stayed centered and I breathed. I used my breath and I moved. I moved in emotion.
Very good. Very good.
Throughout, and then as soon as it went down, I
With
collapsed. It went completely limp, picked back up. Eventually, I got to the point where I can open my arms really wide, and I was just flowing through my waves. My
so you were
husband said,
standing up.
yeah, I was standing up. So I would get up every time they came and opened my arms. I would smile through each of my waves. Once they went down, I'd collapse on my birth ball, collapse on the bed.
Okay, so I want to pause for a moment. So the state that you're in at this point is complete surrender. And how many hours you talking about now at this point?
Oh my goodness. It was, I want to say it was, because when I did this, baby came an hour and a half later. So this was 1:30-ish, between 1:30 and 2.
In the afternoon?
So, yes.
On the 25th?
Yep.
Okay.
And so my husband started crying, my doula started crying, and every time I had a wave, they even told me, like, oh, your breathing is getting better, like your breathing is changing as you keep breathing, you keep going through it, it's changing, it's getting better. And like you said, I surrendered, I completely let go. I said I had to pee. They thought I was walking to the bathroom. I stood up and I peed right in front of my bed on the floor. I just let it. My husband thought, he was like, oh, is that her water breaking? Like, what's going on? Is that water? I was like, no, she's just peeing. So I completely just let everything go.
Yeah, you did.
And then she said, okay, well, you want to go sit on the toilet for a little bit? And I said, okay, I'm open to sitting on the toilet. And so I go to the bathroom, and I'm standing up, and my husband is kneeled down right in front of me. His head is like pressed against my belly. And I felt the urge to go, oh, everything just changed. I just felt a shift in my belly, a shift in my body. It wasn't a sensation. It wasn't a sensation or anything. I just felt the urge to go, oh, and everything just came together. And so what happened was my son's head was peeking out as I was on the toilet, but we didn't know. So I'm standing there. And my husband is looking at my baby's head for half an hour and had no clue.
I just want a disclaimer. I talked to them about this kind of thing. They were all in their zone. Continue on. I just want to say.
I'm like, and he's just looking there the whole time. He's kneeling, like he can see everything that's happening, but had no idea head was there. And I kept, every time a wave came, I had that urge to go, oh. Next thing I know, my midwife comes in, and she's like, yeah, if you don't want to have your baby on the toilet, we need to get moving. So they're getting the pool together, because my plan was to get in a pool and birth my son. Before I get in the pool, midwife has to check baby's heart rate. So she lays me on the bed, my leg is popped up, she checks the heart rate, everything's fine. 10 seconds later, he comes right out. Oh, he comes right out on the bed, didn't even make it to the pool or anything. So, and that was at 3:43.
3:43.
So as soon as I let go, that and after I said my prayer, that happened afternoon, maybe close to 1, baby came at 3:30.
So do me a favor. You're putting your hand down and it's making a sound. I just want to say, so just watch that, but I just want to say extraordinary birth. And you know, I was so proud of you once you told me the story. And I even now just hearing it again, it's magnificent for a first-time mom. And at some point, Ashley's agreed to share some of her photos. And I'm going to have a team do an edit into this video so we can put those photos up. So you're going to let me know. So everyone, just stay tuned to the Instagram. I'll eventually post it again. But I want to talk about when you talked about the point of surrender. So there's a picture of Ashley where her arms are basically out like this, wide. Her arms are wide in her birthing time. It's like she just opened up her heart and threw her arms open. And when I saw that photo, I had chills because I know that act of surrender that women must get to. So what was if you had to encourage first-time pregnant moms who are pregnant right now, what would you say to them, Ashley? What insight would you give them based on what you just experienced?
To completely trust yourself. Trust yourself and believe that your body is made to do this. It's going to open. Like Angela said, surrender. It may sound counterintuitive, but when we say relax and surrender and really tune into yourself, you will feel this change within you, and it will just flow. Don't think about anything else around you. Just really just open yourself up. Open yourself up to the experience.
Yes.
It's an experience, and it's a beautiful transformation that you're going through. And so embrace it. Embrace every sensation and feeling. It's actually empowering. It's really empowering.
So I have a saying, thank you, Ash, for that, that every woman, the warrior woman lives within every woman. And she meets her at different times in her life. And childbirth is really the moment you come and experience her, sometimes for the first time, where she comes in and she takes over. So one of the things that I teach about the breath is that your breath keeps you in the moment, and your breath will make you high. And you were deeply in hypnosis. Even a woman doing long, deep breathing will get to a hypnotic state. And I appreciate the fact that let go and having a 34-hour birth. And now all of that was not active. You would say, was your active birthing half of that time?
Yes, it didn't.
17 hours?
It did not feel like 34 hours. It didn't feel like it at all.
What did it seem like to you?
It felt much shorter. By the time I want to say, when I woke up 5 a.m., that's when I felt like things really progressed and got more intense from 5 a.m. to the time he was born.
5 a.m. to 3.
Yep.
In the afternoon. Okay, so all right, so that's like half. So no, a little bit less than half. So I just want to just say to all the first-time pregnant moms out there, and even those who are having their second or third child, when you're going for natural birth, the intention is so clear, so that you're pure. You just let go. At any time, did you know what your dilation was, or did they keep your dilation from you?
No, I didn't want to know anything.
Mm-hmm.
And because I knew for me, I would have calculations and timings and everything in my head, and I didn't want to be checked. No, I don't want to know anything. I just want to let this happen.
Yes, and you did that very well.
Yeah.
Yes. And here's the thing, because I hear students say, well, I want to know my dilation. I go, well, why do you want to know? If your intention is natural birth, why would you want to know? Because what happens is a person will go right up into their head. So I tell them, if you're birthing up here, Not going to be good. Not going to be a good birth at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to birth from your heart down. That's the center of your power. And allow your body to do it, because the body knows how to birth.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you witness that. Here it is. Your head is like your baby's head is showing. Your husband don't know what he's looking at. God bless his sweetheart. I love you, John. However, but also the hours of sleep, not certain of what you're seeing, you know, that kind of thing. And here you are, the head is emerging, and you're like just in the zone, standing,
in the zone,
la-di-da-da-da, standing over the toilet. Can you describe what you felt as you pushed him out? Like,
my goodness.
can you?
What I felt, sensation-wise, this may sound weird, but I really didn't feel anything. I was so focused on grabbing him and getting to meet him. You know, as he came out, my midwife was like, he's almost there. Give me one more. Give me one push. And it's just, I literally
Breathed him out. And we talked. Okay.
Out. Yes.
Very.
That is exactly what I did. That's what it felt like. It just felt so fluid and natural. Just, and before I knew it, it was in my chest.
So the sensation of you pushing, you didn't feel the intensity, or what they want to call pain, or what they want to call, any of my Hypno Babies moms on here, BOP, bubble of peace. You did not feel that ring of fire they talk about. See, not everyone feels that. This is a good point. Not everyone is going to feel the same thing. You let go so completely and went into the deep part of yourself and had this moment of pushing. Wow, Ashley. I don't think you told me that. Wow.
Yeah, my body did most of the pushing. I only pushed once to get the rest of his lower half out. And it just felt so natural.
Yeah, you were in the zone. I love that place. It makes every doula, every midwife, every doctor, gynecologist, you know, OB. It's like, oh, look at that. It's like, it's an effortless way of birthing.
It was very effortless, yep. Mm-hmm.
And so with this birth story, I just want to say, I remember when Ashley, and we talked about this before, when Ashley first came to me and was going to do pregnancy coaching sessions, and I asked her a question. I said, hey, when do you plan on going on maternity leave? Ashley says, oh, I'm going to work up until the end. Yep. And so my response, I said, well, not if you want me as your doula, because I don't think at time, you know, I don't.
Yeah, you were still trying to work it out.
Yes. Yeah. I said, no. And so please tell the audience when you went on maternity leave and how.
I went on after, so Angela said, you're going to work all day and then come home and give a natural birth. You need to take some time off. You need to take a month off, 2 weeks if you can. And when she told me that, I was like, yeah, I don't want to work all day and then have to go into my birthing time. And I'm doing it. My plan is to do a natural birth at home. So I took a whole month off. I took off work November 1st.
Mm-hmm. And you told me how much you appreciated that time. Like you were doing your yoga.
Yep. I was getting the house. Well, I actually rested a lot. I did my hypnosis tracks. I worked on my prayer. And there were a lot of moments where I had nothing to do. I was just sitting around the house and relaxing. And looking back, I really appreciate that, because once the newborn comes, there's no sitting down and relaxing, which absolutely doesn't to do. But it also helps. I feel like it really helps me for those 34 hours.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I was ready for it.
And here's the thing. So some moms can't take a month off. Take off as much as you can. You see? Take off, that's a minimum 2 weeks. You got to get your mind aligned with, okay, I'm getting ready to have this kid. And you want to be able to birth in such a way where you feel rested. Like Ashley said, she was feeding the baby when we talked this morning. She got to get him to eat, because then she's got to go down for, the nap. So I want to open up. Does anyone have any questions? Anything you want to ask Ashley? Ask me? Yeah, if so, feel free to type a comment. What else did I want to say about this whole thing? I just think that your intention, the fact you said, I want to come back on no matter what birth I have and share my story, and this is your story. And a beautiful story it is for a first-time mama. And your courage. And thank you for being willing to support me in doing my first Instagram Live so that we can get the word out about a more positive and uplifting birth experience that first-time mamas can have. And I have first-time mamas that have the kind of birth that Ashley just had in hospital settings and birth centers. So moms, the power is already in you. You can do this. Ashley, anything you want to add before we close?
I am beyond grateful for being able to write out my birth intention, write out my prayer, and working with you through the HypnoBabies courses. I wouldn't have been prepared to do this without those tools. So no matter what type of birth you're planning, it's good to find a way to be empowered. Connect with Angela. She can truly help you really go inward and really think about what you're going to do during your birthing time. And it really helped me hands down.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. All right, let me look at, so Ashley, how do I look at the comments? Or okay, this is getting too confusing.
You'll see it pop up on the screen.
All right, so I see there like the hand waves and stuff. Okay. All right, I don't know. I don't want to go tap at my phone and then disconnect prematurely. So I'm going to leave everything alone. I have no idea what I just did. Okay, I can't seem to get it out. All right. So if we're done, do you feel complete, Mama? Anything else you want to share?
I feel complete. I mean, I'm just happy to share my story. Hopefully it will inspire some other mamas out there to reframe what birthing is, because they will have people tell you there's no way to prepare for birth. And that was another thing. I refused to believe that there was no way to prepare for birth.
You refused to believe. You felt that there was a way.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've heard multiple times from multiple women. There's no way you can prepare for birth. You can't prepare. And I'm like, there has to be a way. There has to be a way. So there is a way. There is a way.
There is a way. Yes.
Okay, thanking you. Okay. Who is this?
Heartwaking.
Hi. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. She's thanking you for your wisdom.
Oh, you're welcome. Heartwaking. See, I don't know. There may be someone I know, but because it's Heartwaking, I don't know who that is. Yes, there is a way to prepare. I think when women say that, and I make this comment in my book about, some women will birth with volume. Some women will roar. That's not a bad birth. There are women who go into their birthing time and it's like, oh my God, this is way too much, because they're up in their head. And every time they feel a sensation, they're like, this is too much. I don't think I can handle it. They're all up here. This is the only way your child knows to come through you. So allow your child to come through you. Your job as a pregnant woman, as a birthing woman, is to let go. And I hear people say, and so that's hard for me to do. Well, you know, you might want to rethink that level of thinking.
Mhm.
Letting go. When women say, you know, there's nowhere to prepare, what they're talking about, there's no way to prepare for the sensation that you're going to
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that process, then you were like, oh, I don't know, I'm tired. I don't know. After 30 something hours, I'm exhausted. I don't know if I want to do this. And you're like, let me just get out of the way.
Mhm.
Let me get out of the way. And so that's what it's going to take, getting out of your way. There is such intensity and power in birth. And just because a mom is a hypnobaby's mom and she does hypnosis doesn't mean she doesn't feel the sensations. It's just that she has to let go and allow her hypnosis to work. Now for you, I believe that your orange hypnoanesthesia, what we use,
Yeah.
it was supporting you as well because you were working those tracks, listening to those tracks all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My tracks were going
So
all
moms,
day.
what'd you say, Ash?
Yes, my tracks were going all day, and you just, like you said, you just let go, and you're reframing what those sensations are, and that helps a lot too. So that's why it helps to go through the course, and that's
Yes.
why it helps to write out your intention, because you're really reframing every um, everything about birth.
Right.
So
And I want to be clear that the birth intention is something that I offer. It has not a part of hypnobabies, but my clients who hire me get it. And if people want pregnancy life coaching sessions with me independently, they can get access to it that way as well. So we're going to close off. I feel like I was going to say something else. Just remember, mamas, you got this. And let the sensations of your body be okay when you experience your birthing waves. And use your breath. You know, you just heard a positive birth story here. And everyone have a great, great Saturday. Thank you so much, Ashley, for bringing me out and helping me to stretch my wings and go Instagram live. You're right, I am more comfortable. And my glasses, oh, and by the way, everyone knows I wear my black glasses. I'm just gonna tell y'all the story right now. Just as a light note, we'll edit this part out. So these are my normal glasses, and then I have these. Well, when I get nervous, these steam up. Then I can't read the comments. But I can see the comments today because I got on the other ones. All right, just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of, you know, what it's like to go Instagram live and your glasses steam up. All right, Ash. Thank you so much, Mama. And
thank you, Miss
we'll
Angela.
talk this week because I want to get the photos from you. Okay?
Okay, all right.
Love you, honey.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great Saturday.